Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Simplifying Business Studies. I hope my content, my work is being useful for you so far. So children, if you like my videos, please do not forget to like and subscribe and also share it with all your friends. So we are continuing with chapter 5 of class 11th, Emerging Modes of Business. So this is going to be the third session of this chapter. Let us see first what we have covered so far. So in this chapter, we have already covered the meaning of e-business, the scope of e-business, and under this we included what is B2B, B2C, C2C, and intra-B-commerce. Also, in our second session, we understood what is the difference between e-business and e-commerce. The next topics: opportunities or benefits of e-business, limitations of e-business, online transactions, security and safety of e-business, resources required for successful implementation of business, and e-business versus traditional business are left. So out of these left out topics, we will cover these particular topics in this session. So let us quickly begin with our session. Let us first understand what are the benefits or opportunities or merits of e-business. The very first benefit of e-business is that it is easy to form and it involves low investment. What does this mean? Definitely, the benefit of internet technology is that we need very little investment to establish our business. We don't need to buy a whole land which involves a huge amount of money. We can have our online store which can be prepared using very less investment, and more contacts. One can do with more contacts, one can have a better exposure to the business. So we don't need to really spend a very huge amount to have an online store. It is easy to form, there is no formality involved. If we have access to technology, we can get our online store ready very easily. I'll explain this with an example. To sell mobile phones traditionally, you need to hire a shop, display various mobiles, and spend a lot of money to attract customers so that they can visit your shop. On the other hand, if you set up an e-business, you need to have a website, display various pictures of mobiles, and customer visits the websites and places the order. So on comparison of these two different forms, we can see the latter one is faster and it involves really less investment. Next point is convenience. With the help of e-business, shopping can be done very conveniently sitting at home. Selling is also convenient, as I just mentioned with an example. We don't need to have a huge investment. We don't need to have a whole shop where we need to fill the stock to display. So yes, there is convenience for both customers and both sellers. Millions of people exchange information in the world using e-commerce, so definitely it provides lot of convenience. Just an example, when I used to do my projects work like 10 years or 15 years back, when I was studying, I need to go to library every time to find out details of the topics which I'm looking for. But you people can easily get all the information by clicking, just by having a few seconds spent on your phone. So yes, convenience is absolutely there. Global reach. So through e-business, a businessman can reach each and every human being on this planet who has an access to internet. There is no geographical limit. Like if I'm sitting here, I can sell my products to someone sitting in America, someone sitting in Japan. So I can reach every person who is present on this planet through uh, the condition is that the person should be using internet. So yes, global reach is there. In e-commerce, customers have definitely a wider choice. For them, the whole world can be a shop. If I need to purchase something, I have all the sellers who are selling in India, and apart from that, I have all the sellers across the net who are selling from America, from Russia, from Japan. So I can reach anyone as a customer, and I can reach all the people who can be my potential customer as a seller. So I have this advantage of global reach both the ways. Cost saving. Definitely it is absolutely cost saving. Trading through e-business is definitely more economical, as I have just explained in the first point through an example, compared to other trading businesses across us. Businessman don't need to have a showroom for display of all the goods he has, and neither he requires middlemen, nor he requires any kind of display. So there is a direct sale where he can directly purchase from manufacturer and set up a store and directly access the customers. So cost involved in advertising is stored, cost involved in carrying the products to the display places, to shops, to showrooms is also saved. So yes, there is lot of cost saving. Movement towards paperless society. So this brings lot of economy, lots of it is our responsibility to do something for to save our environment also. So through e-business we are actually making our society have another step towards a paperless society. So we can get through using internet, we reduce our dependence upon paperwork. The invoices we get once we go to a showroom to buy certain products, now through email business, through this e-commerce platforms where we buy goods from, we get these invoices on our mails. So we are avoiding using papers. So all the information what we need to get while we are buying or while we are selling the product can be obtained using electronic forms. So nowadays people can file the other purposes, for other purposes also we can use internet, we can use the e-commerce and e-business, like filing income tax, or for applying for the passport, or for applying for an Aadhaar card, or getting admission in a university, getting your form filled, or filling up a tender. So everything can be done using these online means, and we were using paper, millions and tons of papers, if we would not be doing using these sources. So definitely we are helping our environment to become more secure, and we are making our society a paperless society. Now let us understand different limitations after understanding the merits or the opportunities which are provided by e-business. So what is the first? Low personal touch. When we go to a shop to buy certain goods, we definitely uh, feel connected to the person we are buying from, and the person brings lot of satisfaction when we develop a relationship with them. So in online businesses we miss this kind of personal touch which is available in the traditional business. Incongruence in ordering and receiving. Yes, there can be lot of problems, lot of disturbance while we make a business transaction using these online resources. We may order but we may not receive goods, so there are a lot of defaults, lot of problems, lot of frauds also which can happen while we pay using our cards, debit cards and credit cards, or using different electronic money platforms using these online sources. So yes, there are a lot of problems which can occur while these transactions take place. Technological competency. A person who is into a business, and if he is willing to go for an online business, he need lot of technological competence. Not everyone is adequate at the technological skills required to conduct an online business and manage an online business, I must say. So one need to be competent while technology is concerned. One needs to have all the latest knowledge about what is going across this IT field. So one needs lot of expertise and skills related to the technology involved in online businesses. Risk due to anonymity and non-traceability of parties. So once we are dealing with, uh, 5 people or 10 people who are our suppliers in a business, we know them personally, and it is really easy to trace them once there is some kind of default, when some kind of default arises. But in case of online business, it is really difficult to trace the parties because everything is online, and we actually don't know that where that person exists. And if even we know, we may not access that person. So things can be non-traceable at times, and business may suffer some kind of losses due to these factors. People resistance. So yes, in a country like India, people resist these kind of online businesses because they don't trust the business happening this way. They are really resistant. They are not used to using their credit cards, debit cards. Maybe they feel that the risk involved is much higher than the benefits it gives. So people are generally resistant. Yes, we can say that people, our society is moving towards making India a more digitalized country, but yes, the major goal is still too far. People are actually very resistant, very adamant towards using these online means for their shopping and also for trading. Ethical fallouts. There can be lot of ethical fallouts. Generally companies outsource the activities because in outsourcing, in the outsourcing country, labor is very cheap. By doing so, indirectly they are encouraging unethical behavior of low wage payment, child labor, etc. So these are certain ethical fallouts which an e-business also faces. So I'm sure this content is understandable to all of you. If you have any doubts, you can again get in touch with me through the comment box of this video or through this email which is on your screen. I hope you liked my video. Please do not forget to like it and subscribe if you haven't subscribed my channel yet. Thank you so much. Have a very nice day ahead.